The Holocaust is one of the greatest tragedies in all of human history. For those who survived it and those who fought to end it, the memories are still haunting, vivid, and painful. But they're also important. In Alachua County and around the world, people gathered on Yom Hashoah to remember and share the stories again.
I'm a Jew. Concentration camp inmate number 64,757, and I am among the very last ones of my species.
Walter Ziffer, professor of theology, is a Holocaust survivor and was the lead speaker at the Yom Hashoah event held at B'nai Israel in Gainesville. Today, his intent is to keep the stories of the survivors and victims alive even after the last survivor is gone. Ziffer was only 14 years old when he was taken to his first concentration camp in 1941. He would spend the next 4 years of his life in 7 different Nazi concentration camps. His story depicts the harrowing and dehumanizing effects the camps had on those who experienced the Holocaust.
I no longer have a name. I have become a number, and when you have become a number, you have become an object. And when you've become an object, people can manipulate you, they can handle you, they can mishandle you, they can break you, they can dump you. And that's what we became.
Ziffer was what he considered to be property of the Jewish camp commander, who was also a prisoner whom he served while in one of the camps. He tells of a time that he was forced to witness a fellow inmate murdered in front of him by guards. After the incident, he asked the Jewish camp commander why. Instead of an answer, he was offered a piece of bread.
So I greedily picked that piece of bread from the trunk, one of the slices of dark bread with a thin film of margarine on it, and I eat. There's never enough food. We are always hungry. But remember, this bread is meant for someone else, not for me. I eat somebody else's bread that may have helped that person survive. But who thinks ethics in a concentration camp?
Ziffer explains that why was not a question that usually received an answer during the Holocaust. He explains by referring to a quote by a famous Italian Jewish Holocaust survivor, Primo Levi, who wrote about his experience in the book Survival at Auschwitz.
So it says to the guard, warum? Why? And the answer the guard gives to him is, hier gibt es kein warum. Here there is no why. Here exists no why. That sentence to me sums up the whole misery, the hellish situation that we were in these concentration camps.
These stories, though often hard to hear, are important in order to keep the memories alive and to learn from the mistakes of the past. Events like Yom Hashoah help to spread the information to future generations.
Well, I came here for the remembrance of the 6 million Jews that perished during the infamous years of 1933 to 1945. We owe it to never let that happen again. Never let that happen again.
The event also brought people together and allowed some to bond over their experiences. Bernard Melman and Rebecca Shalom learned they shared some history together. Rebecca's father was in the Dachau concentration camp, and Mr. Melman was one of the American soldiers that helped to liberate that camp on April 29, 1945.
The reason the date was so meaningful for me is that my father is a survivor of the Holocaust. He had been in 4 different camps, the last one which was Dachau, and he had, not exactly when, but he had always, my whole life, or a big part of it, I'd always said April 29th, 1945 was his real birthday. And had the Americans not come into the camp that day, he's sure that he would not have survived. He wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't be here.
Some families were not as fortunate to survive the Holocaust, as Alachua County Library Director Saul Hirsch explains as he recalls his own family's tragic past.
Holocaust has incredible significance for me because both of my parents were concentration camp survivors, and both lost their entire families, their brothers, sisters, their in-laws, nieces, nephews. Our family was pretty much decimated, and so it's important that just to remember the Holocaust and to remember all the persons who were killed, family members who I never knew, and to just make sure their memories are kept alive through my thoughts.
Professor Ziffer reminds us that this is not only important for the Jewish population to remember, but for humanity to remember and to learn from, so as to not repeat such atrocities in the future. For County Update, I'm Shelley Samick.